All right, welcome back. We continue live right here, Pittsburgh CW. Bob Pompeani with you until 11 o'clock at 412-575-2600. Thanks to Denise, who's in the studio right now, helping me out with my IFB, which makes me able to hear you at home. Had a little trouble with that. Thank you, Denise. Appreciate that. Call us. Let us know what you think. We have a lot of people on the line, so let's get right to it. We'll begin with Joe in Greensburg. First up tonight. Hey, Joe.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Okay. Hey, this Bill, is there anything that he has to come and play this year or no?
Who's that again?
Bill.
He doesn't have to, but if he doesn't, that means the Steelers technically will own his rights for yet another year. And he might have to go through the same exercise next year unless the Steelers get so sick of it that they just release him. So, I mean, he'd be putting his fate in their hands. If he shows up with 6 weeks left in the season, then he qualifies for a full year of service, and therefore he can then become an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. But he's not here yet. And by not showing up today by 4 o'clock, you know what? He's lost $7.7 million in salary. And he's never going to be able to make that up. I've said that all along. You know, I don't care what kind of signing bonus he gets, but I'll tell you what, James Conner has hurt Le'Veon Bell's chances because James Conner is putting up Le'Veon Bell numbers in the same offense, which makes other teams maybe wonder, okay, Le'Veon's a very special athlete. I've never denied that. He's very talented. But a lot of running backs could take advantage of a system that is predicated to opening holes and you finding those holes. So maybe his value has gone down, and maybe James Conner is the result. Let's go to David. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I have a few questions for you. The first one is, where do you see this team at the midway point, and can you see them taking that next big step to get to the Super Bowl?
Where I see them right now is on top of that division. Tomorrow would be a big win to get because they've already lost one to Baltimore. If the Ravens should win, it changes the complexion of just about everything. I think the Steelers need it for this reason, more than anything else. They'd have a cushion, which they need in the AFC North, because if you look at their schedule coming up, they have some really good games against some tough teams. Starting with 3 days rest, Carolina comes to Heinz Field on Thursday night. That won't be easy. That offense is pretty good. And after that, you've got the likes of New Orleans with Drew Brees. You have the likes of Tom Brady, New England coming in here. You have other good quarterbacks along the way. Now, I thought originally coming into the season that Oakland and Denver would be formidable teams. Both are not. Oakland looks terrible, and if Pittsburgh should go to Oakland and lose, that would be a big hiccup on their road. But the schedule is not going to be that easy in the second half, so I think if you could build up a little cushion in the AFC North, it'll certainly help them, and I think that's why they want to win that game more than anything. Waylon in Washington. What's up, Waylon? How you doing?
Hey, Bob. Hi. Hey, question. When they call timeout, you know, the 2-point conversion in the West Virginia game, did they call back-to-back timeouts, or did I misunderstand that?
Yes, they could if they wanted to. It's sort of like freezing the kick, throwing things off. And it worked the first time because West Virginia had a little slant pattern to David Sills. It went for 2, and they said it didn't count because he had taken timeout. So, yes, they could have if they wanted to. Okay. Thanks for the call, Waylon. Appreciate that. Let's move along to line 5. That would be Mike in Altoona, who joins us on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Mike, you are on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Bob. Great show.
Thank you, sir.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate Kit. Great win last night. And secondly, they look like the best team in the state right now. It's hard for me to say, being a Penn State fan, but James Franklin looks totally lost. And it looks to me like Ricky Ron's right there with him, Ronnie or whatever his name is. That they have like 2 plays now where Shorley runs up the middle and then he hands it off to somebody. It was just disgusting performance, and to me it looks like he may be a great recruiter, but he's only as good as his assistants, and he misses Joe Moorhead greatly.
I agree with that. Joe Moorhead was a tremendous coach and is a tremendous coach, and you know, I think James Franklin can recruit. I don't think there's any doubt. He knows how to sell a program, but again, the proof is in the numbers, and right now, the stat I said earlier, they're 0-11 against ranked road teams. When I'm talking about true road games, not neutral site games, 0-11, and they lost those on average by 25 points. So, and Michigan had some, you know, retribution on their minds. Their revenge tour, and they've been good about it. They followed up, and they just pounded. They dominated time of possession. They just moved the ball, at times methodically, but they moved it down the field, and Penn State could not stop it. Let's go to line 4. It's Mike in Bethel Park. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Yeah, good, Bob. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. What's up?
Good. I like that Pitt's getting some activity and excitement in its athletic program. You brought up the girls' volleyball was nice to see. Didn't know about that, and the Pitt program might be turning the corner. And I'm really looking forward to the ACC and the Pitt basketball program starting on Tuesday. I think Cap was a fabulous hire. Might take them a year or so to get things running here, but last 2 years were total disaster. It's nice to see the sun on the horizon with the basketball program. I didn't know how you felt about that.
Well, I like Jeff Capel. I think so far he's done everything right, but they haven't played a game. They played one exhibition game, but we'll see. But honestly, I do not expect anything great this year just because it's year one, and he has a lot of recruiting yet to do. If I'm not mistaken, Pitt was picked by the coaches to finish last, if not last, close to, and that's fine. It's the first year. I think if you go there, you need to watch the maturation, the development of a team. If you go, that's why you should go. And that's why you should go, because it's fun to watch when you see some kids develop. And I think he's going to be fine in time. This is a very difficult conference to be involved as a basketball member and try to win right off the bat. It just does not happen. So I'll give him some time, but I think he knows what he's doing. He's learned from some of the best in the business, and I think he's going to be fine. But, winning takes care of everything, as Pat Narduzzi and Pitt football will find. The more you win, and I'm not talking about just once in a while I'm talking about consistently win division. Get yourself in that ACC championship game, as he promised they would, and so far he's looking like he might be good on his promise. We'll see. Still work to be done. We'll take a break. We have Marilyn, Ralph, and Ed all coming up. You're watching the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call right here on Pittsburgh CW.